Good evening, esteemed judge members. My name is María Rodríguez, and today I'm presenting my senior capstone project on sustainable urban rehabilitation in the vulnerable historic context of Callao, mentored by Dr. Sandra Bernal at the University of Arizona. My research focuses on the historic center of Callao, Peru, an area facing severe physical deterioration, high crime rates, and decades of failed rehabilitation attempts. The urgency of this situation creates a critical need for effective intervention strategies that can actually work in this vulnerable historic context. Which leads me to my research question. How do alternative urban rehabilitation strategies differ in their perceived effectiveness in relation to walkability, safety, environmental quality, and viability in the historic center of Callao? Regarding my methods, I use a qualitative approach and I began with semi structured interviews with 10 local actors to gather practical insights about current conditions, priorities, barriers, and aspirations on the ground. This was followed by a focus group with six professionals to actually validate technical feasibility, assess risks, and refine intervention alternatives through expert critique. Finally, I use scorecards to systematically measure and compare three rehabilitation strategies A1, A2, and A3 across four predetermined criteria: walkability, safety, environmental quality, and viability. The findings reveal critical insights. Looking at Table 1, we can see three key findings. First, walkability and infrastructure are severely deteriorated with systematic deficiencies across the intervention area. Second, regarding safety perception, high insecurity validates our diagnostic data that 80% of residents identify safety as their primary concern. And third, there's a critical deficit in green spaces and environmental amenities. Moving to table 2, we found a division between ideal impact from alternative 3 and practical impact from alternative 2, with alternative 1 considered as insufficient for most of the participants. Importantly, there was a consensus that feasibility decreases dramatically from A1 to A3, but concerns remained about whether feasibility solutions are actually effective. The focus group revealed fascinating insights. As shown in question 1, there was a strong consensus emerged around A2 as the most appropriate alternative, balancing technical soundness with contextual realities, and question 3 generated the most debate, revealing tension between technical quality and political reality. Now, looking at figure 2, the rather charged with scorecard results, you can see how the three alternatives performed, where alternative 2 demonstrated the most balanced performance across all dimensions, with the highest total score of 6.6 out of 10, and critically achieves the highest safety score at 7 out of 10. Now, looking at the conclusion section, the main finding is clear. Perceived effectiveness depends basically on two interdependent factors: the capacity to address safety and institutional credibility. There's two key principles. First, safety as primary criterion, and second, credibility as multiplier. The key implication is that optimal effectiveness equals balancing safety impacts with achievable scale. There is no linear relationship in this. Greater technical ambition does not equal higher perceived effectiveness. My recommendation is to implement alternative 2, balancing precisely safety impact with achievable scale to build an institutional credibility through demonstrated results, as illustrated and Figure 3. Thank you very much for your attention.